What's up guys, it's your boy Brian here, and for this video we're going to talk about 10 games that I hope one day we would see a remaster. In the age of remasters, the PS4, Xbox One era, and I'm sure they'll continue through the PS5 and Xbox Series X era, these are 10 games that I've loved over my time as a gamer, and many gamers have loved, and that I hope would be given the remaster treatment. Alright, let's get into it. For number 10, I'm throwing out Mercenaries, World of Destruction. The Mercenary games for the PS2 era, I think, were ahead of its time. With environmental destruction, great third-person action gameplay. The stories were typical but okay, and I just think to remaster them and bring them back into this new age of gaming with maybe some additional features, some updated graphics and mechanics, they would be a hit. It was a cult hit when it came out. They didn't get a lot of mainstream praise, but there's a lot of people that I know who bought the game, who loved the game just as much as I did back during the PS2 era, and that's a game I definitely think should be remastered, and it's a shame that it's not even rebooted for the new console generation. For number 9, we have F-Zero. Now, F-Zero is an old-time Nintendo racer. If you play Super Smash Bros., this is the game where Captain Falcon comes from. I think that deserves a remaster or some sort of reboot. Again, with today's graphics and mechanics, F-Zero is a game that's really missing out on what modern technology can do for it. And I really hope that Nintendo thinks about reviving the old racing game. PlayStation did it with Wipeout. They revived it, they remastered it, they put it up for PS4. It's a great game, and I hope Nintendo can see themselves doing the same for their iconic racer outside of Mario Kart, which is F-Zero. And I hope we can get an F-Zero remaster, remake, or something in the future. Coming in at number 8, I have Siphon Filter. Now, this was a great action shooter game for the PS1 back in the 90s. It was so much fun, and I think, of course, anything action shooter oriented would definitely benefit from the great graphics we have today. Okay, the plot of unleashing a biochemical weapon in Washington, D.C. would still make great play, and I think New York City was also a place. And with modern graphics, one of the most fun mechanics of Siphon Filter was taking the taser and tasing the bad guys until they caught on fire, and I can't think of a better mechanic to bring back than that. But all together, Siphon Filter was a great action game. I think it could definitely come back as a remaster and be successful with a new coat of paint. Coming in next, we have SSX Tricky. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Snowboarding games were a great hit when I was growing up through PS1 and Nintendo 64 to PS2. They kind of died off in the PS3 era and forward, and it's a real shame because, again, with online multiplayer capabilities the way they are today, these games would definitely benefit. And SSX Tricky, to me, is arguably the best arcade snowboarder game, where you just go out there and you pull off ridiculous tricks and you have a ton of fun. And there's no way that a game like that, with a fresh coat of paint, with updated graphics, and still the arcade mechanics, wouldn't be successful, and with online multiplayer capabilities will give the game a great shelf life. Snowboarding games in general have disappeared. I know Ubisoft tried to make them come back with Steep. It wasn't too successful because it was too much into the realism, but I think an SSX Tricky, which is more about the arcadey style of snowboarding games, would come back, would be seen as fun, and would be a great remaster for some of the nostalgic gamers like myself. At number 6, we have Driver. You Are the Wheelman. Driver was a very popular game when I was growing up in the 90s for the PlayStation 1. It did survive into the PS2 era, but by then it started to die off as a franchise. But I think, again, with a great updated graphics, being the wheelman, undercover cop in 1970s Miami, New York, Los Angeles, or even updated to the modern day, fresh coat of paint, it would be wildly successful, especially with the way driving mechanics have come so far in gaming. I think it would be a real hit as a remastered game. It was really fun, really popular. I remember so many people buying it, so many of my friends buying it, and it's one of the better PlayStation 1 games to really be, great in its time. But I think, again, it was a game that with modern technology could have probably even been more better, and I think a remaster of Driver would be in order. At number 5, we have Star Fox 64. Now, with Star Fox, I was hoping that with the Nintendo Switch, we would get more Star Fox, but we're not getting it. I don't know why. Why Nintendo does not see Fox McCloud as someone who they want to build strong games around. But if anything, take Star Fox 64, update it with a fresh coat of paint, put it on the Nintendo Switch, and I think you would have instant success. And I think you would realize that people still love Star Fox. So many people say, why aren't we getting new Star Fox? We keep getting new Marios, new Zeldas, but no new Star Fox. And to me, Star Fox is one of the better Nintendo characters, up there with Mario and Link, and deserves a new game. But at the very least, take the best game of the Star Fox series, Star Fox 64, give it a fresh coat of paint for the modern Nintendo Switch, and watch the dollars roll in. At number 4, I have The Godfather, the video game. When EA published The Godfather video game for the PS2, it was a hit. It was such a hit that I played it almost to the point of breaking the game. I loved it. So many of my friends loved it. We couldn't stop talking about it because this was a game that did everything right when it licensed the movie to be based on the game. The Godfather video game sees you as a young Italian mobster. Well, you're not an Italian mobster. Your father was a mobster. He was killed by Barzini, and Don Corleone takes you under his family to protect you as a favor to your mother, and you rise from an associate to Don of all of New York City. The way the game puts you at each of the plot points of the movie, you kill Paulie, you get Michael to safety after he kills McCluskey and Salazzo, you hit Bruno Tattaglia, you save the Don, you carry out the assassinations of the other Dons of the city. You are in every major plot point in the Godfather movie, and it really kept the game really good and really interesting. But you also interweaved with your own personal story, personal love interest, story of betrayal with your best friend, and everything. It was a masterpiece of a game, and everyone wants that Grand Theft Auto clone. This to me really isn't a Grand Theft Auto clone, but it comes as close to it as possible. You can rob banks, you can set up rackets, you can siege strongholds, and I think slapping that on with today's graphics would be amazing. You would basically be making the movie into the video game. The likeness of Vito Corleone and Sonny and Michael and all these guys would pretty much look like as if you're watching the movie intertwined with the game. And I think it's due for a remaster. And I think if you add some online capabilities, it'd be even better. So the Godfather of the video game is really one that I think people don't talk about, but it should be remastered. Coming in at number 2, I have Twisted Metal. Today we have Rocket League, and it's wildly successful. Who knew taking little cars and trying to play soccer with them would be wildly successful? So I don't know why no one thought that the game where you took a car and blew everyone up would not be successful today. It would be, especially with online play, so easy and so accessible. Why do we not have a remake of Twisted Metal? It boggles the mind. PlayStation, you want to sell more consoles? I think you would get even more consoles sold if you announce Twisted Metal remake with fully online play capabilities, with a ranked mode, with maybe a little added customization, like not you can do what's it called? You could do things to help you win. I don't like pay to win customization, but hey, giving these cars different paint schemes and just visual customization. I'm blanking on the word, the real word, but just that would be an amazing game in today's world. If Rocket League could be successful with people running amok in little cars and trying to play soccer, I think Twisted Metal would be even more successful. And it's crazy to me that it just has not been remastered or remade or rebooted in any semblance. It was a game ahead of its time. And in this day of online gaming, it would flourish. And you would have an unending customization. And I know video game companies want to bank on microtransaction. It was also made for microtransactions if you do customization right, but sadly no one has taken the time to remaster Twisted Metal, and I think the right person comes along and does it the right way, it would be a success. Last but certainly not least, and the game I want most remastered, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. EA has the Star Wars license, it's had it for some time, and this game was published prior to them having it. But it was made by EA's own BioWare. And being that EA loves a bankable product, as to why they haven't greenlit a Knights of the Old Republic remake boggles the mind. Right now, EA needs goodwill under the Star Wars license. It needs BioWare to get on a redemption product, because Mass Effect Andromeda was so bad that BioWare is kind of like lost its fame and its goodwill with fans. I think Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake with great graphics and a little updated mechanics would hit the nail on the head for both. EA gets the goodwill with the Star Wars license. BioWare gets a redemption product that says, hey, BioWare does not suck at gaming anymore. Give them a new IP. So, and the fans get what they want in a remake of one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It's a win across the board. Why it hasn't happened, I don't know. EA, if you're looking to tell Disney we deserve more time with the license, I can't think of a better product than putting out Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remade, getting BioWare back to respectable reputation, earning goodwill with gamers and Star Wars fans alike, and making a strong case for yourself to keep the license, even though I don't want you to keep the license. But Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic could go a long way in convincing Disney to give you the license one more time. And that's it. What game do you want to see remastered? Let me know in the comments. Let's discuss. Let's have some fun. Anyways, it's your boy Brian, and I'm out. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye.